I see this question pop up in Facebook groups pretty much every other day. Of course, that question being, how does sex in my Tokay Gecko? You know, what sex in my Tokay Gecko? Is this male? Is it female? Hell, I don't know. Why don't I ask you guys? Following this Facebook post, it usually becomes riddled with this barrage of, it's male, it's female, no, it has pores, it's male, no, those pores aren't big, it's a female, male, female, male, female, until the originator of the post finally just gets too confused and probably just gives up. But don't worry there, viewer, I am here to help you out. No longer will you have to deal with the multitudes of, it's male, it's female, this reason, that reason. Now, you can actually learn. You'll actually, we watch this video and you'll actually know how to sex a Tokay instead of asking a bunch of people that seem to actually not know what they're talking about. Facebook groups. And well, with all that out of the way, I guess it's time to sit back, relax, talk about Tokay genitalia, and what was that last thing? Oh, also, roll the intro. Start talking about actually how to sex Tokay geckos, I believe it's first important to go over what age you can actually sex the Tokay at. This isn't going to be something such as, you know, colubrids, ball pythons, where you can just pop the hemipenes out and then see, well, it's got the little pea wings. I sincerely apologize that you had to hear me say pea wings. Oh. Not like a snake where you can easily just pop in, be able to determine the sex that way. Nope, these guys are gonna have to go over visual cues, much like some of the New Caledonian geckos where you have to see the visual pores, things of this nature. Although it is the same kind of style of checking out those pores once they become a certain age and or size, the pores look a little bit different between what a crested gecko pore would look like versus what Tokay pores look like. Then with that being said, the youngest I usually try to give my most accurate guess is somewhere along the 4 to 6 range mark. Usually when they look about this size, like you're seeing in the B-roll right now, it's usually about the time where I can determine pretty clearly if it's a male or female. Of course, it's not a 100% accurate guess. I mean, it's still a pretty young animal, but at that point, I have a pretty good indicator on what it's gonna turn out to be. Now, of course, that's not a requirement to be able to determine what the sex of your Tokay Gecko is. I'm sure there are people that have been doing this a lot longer than I have are able to find them or be able to determine the sex a little bit younger than me. However, personally, this is the one where at the age where I feel more comfortable doing it. Of course, I can take my best educated guess when I do usually sell my geckos around that 2.5 to 3.5 month range. I can give it a good guess. However, it's not 100% accurate and it can really go either way. But 4 to 6 months, that's usually when you can do it. Now that we know roughly what age can you accurately sex a Tokay Gecko out, it's time to get the next part, actually what to look for when trying to sex the animal. There are a couple of different ways that you can determine the sex of your Tokay Gecko. If we're referring to adult imports coming in, usually males tend to have a broader, just bigger sized head. They tend to be just more, just bigger and thicker to appearance-wise. Here's a quick little side-by-side of my female versus my male. You can kind of see the subtle differences between the head shape of the female versus the head shape of the male. There's a little bit of a difference in there. You can see the male is just a little bit thicker and broader in the head, where the female is a little more narrow. While that is one way you're able to sex the animal, it is not the most accurate way. Really what I like to look for, and really what I find is the best to get a accurately guess estimation on how to sex Tokay geckos, is really going to be looking at the femoral pores. Now, if you're unfamiliar with femoral pores, we'll put a picture right here. Basically, it's going to be this slight little V line of dots going along just above the base of the animal's tail, right between its 2 legs. It's a little V. I mean, there's the picture. I don't know why I'm visually showing you. But this is going to be the best way to do it, in my opinion. So usually what turns out is the adult males and males in general are going to have more, it's going to feel, so they're going to excrete through these femoral pores. With that being said, when you feel around that base where that V is, it's gonna feel a little waxy, a little sticky, versus with female, which is gonna be more smooth. It's gonna really just feel like any of the other scales where if you're talking about a male, you are gonna notice a clear difference between the two. Now, something that I find as a huge misconception in the hobby as far as Tokay geckos go is the fact that if you see any type of femoral pore in there, that we just see a lot of people saying it's male. I see the pores, it's male. That is not the case. Females can have slightly larger pores. That does not necessarily make it a male. You can really see a clear difference between a male's femoral pores and a female's femoral pores. And just because the female right here has the slight femoral pores does not automatically make it a male. Just to reiterate, because my God, this is the biggest misconception. This is what starts it all, is people see these tiny microscopic femoral pores and they're like, oh, that's a male, that's gonna be a male. The females can have those pores. It's just the fact that if they are not enlarged, such as the pictures we just showed, that would exhibit a male, whereas just slight pores can still be a female. Now, I think we've talked enough about, what to look for, what age you're looking for when you're looking to sex an animal. I think now let's give some demonstrations, Let's go sex some Tokay geckos. I'll show you guys on camera while I'm holding the gecko pretty much what you're trying to look for exactly in the spots. I'm gonna get bit. God knows I'm gonna get bit. All right, guys, now coming into this little Tokay tent that we have here, let's check out some babies. We'll pull out a male first. This is, of course, going to be the Green Galaxy, is roughly a year and some change old. And so this will give us a pretty clear indicator at this point, at that age, that the animal is either a male or female. So if we can pull him out real quick, of course, he's in this little cork tunnel. Oh my God, I swear to God. Come on, bud. Yeah. Okay, take a look at this guy. Okay, so pretty much what you're gonna wanna do is secure the animal using this method. If you don't know about it right here, how to handle Tokay geckos, what you're gonna wanna do is, try not to get bit, and then what you wanna do is restrict the jaws. So pretty much we are gonna do it just like that. While restricting this, you don't want to apply any pressure. You just want to restrict the neck from going back and forth so he can't turn around and bite you. You can see right there, I did get a little nip, but that's okay. So hopefully, I mean, this is a pretty good camera. We should be able to see. So what you are looking for with Tokay geckos is, could you calm down, bud? What you're looking for with Tokay geckos is you can kind of see this line right here. This is the femoral pores that we were talking about earlier. Let me see if I can get the camera to actually focus in on this spot. How close can I? Yeah, there we go. Can I go closer? All right, there we go. So here you can, your foot's in the way. Okay. Here you get a clear indication where those femoral pores are. It's gonna be this line right here. And as I'm feeling it, I can feel that little waxy substance. The problem is I gotta hold his feet. So yep, you can see the scales are a little raised right there. Of course, this is what we're looking at right here, this lining of scales. And if you look close enough, I'm sorry I don't have a good enough camera, you can see the waxy pores going through it. So that's about it. I don't want to stress this guy out too much. Oh my God, he's spooked. All right, this one definitely does not have any. Oh look, we got more eggs. So now we've got 2 more clutches of eggs over here, which is pretty rad. All right, let's see if, gotta make sure the baby doesn't run out. I really didn't want to take this girl out just because of the baby. Ah, damn it, so close. Oh. There we go. All right, we got baby in there. We got daddy in there. Cool beans. All right, so here we have a female. You can see her head. It's a little bit more narrow than the males. Beautiful though, just normal female. I got some fuzz. Oh, dog hair, man, dog hair. That stuff gets everywhere. All right, so she is a very good example of what I was talking about earlier. If you can see where those pores are. Again, we're looking at a line that is right here above the vent. So you can still see some slight poring right there. Poring, I swear to God. You can still slightly see where those femoral pores are and how they are slightly exaggerated. However, this is obviously a female. This girl has bred many babies for me, and obviously female at that point. However, you can still see right there, we still got that line. Of course, this isn't nearly as exaggerated as the male that we saw earlier. Of course, when I do this, I don't feel any difference, things like that. So that's pretty much what you're gonna wanna do. Oh, it's like a freaking snapper. How your calcium sacs looking? Ooh, your calcium sacs are looking pretty good, girl. That's the best part about Tokay geckos, is the fact they can check calcium sacs really easily because they just do this and you're good to go. Anyway, that's it. That's my little 101 on how to sex Tokay geckos. Take it away, Sitting Dakota. And well, guys, there you have it. How to sex Tokay geckos. I hope this cleared some stuff up, especially about the femoral pores. Dear God, I hope you guys watch the 3-minute part about the pores, because you gotta stop with these people, man. These poor people are just asking to get their animals sexed, and it's just a huge clusterfuck in those comment sections. I'm just gonna post, every time I see, is it male or female, this video's getting posted. Anyway, and as always, huge shout out to Zen Habitats. If you're unfamiliar with Zen Habitats, they are an aftermarket reptile enclosure maker. They make some fantastic designs like this one right here. Check that out. That is a pretty rad enclosure. If you're looking for a fantastic enclosure for a Tokay gecko, I highly recommend their 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot option. It's definitely gonna give enough space for that animal to have its forever home while being fairly aesthetically pleasing. Since it's gonna be something like an aquarium, anything like that, it's gonna be a nice modern design with a bunch of space for your animal. And other than that, if you liked the video, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of my animals or my breeding products, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, DBCB Exotics. We're also on TikTok. If you like some cool merch designs like these 3, hey, those things are there. And actually, we got a new design coming, boys and girls. We're rebranding the logo. It's gonna be pretty sweet. If the logo's already bought, I'll put a picture of it right here. If not, you'll have to wait until the everything gets finalized and I do purchase the rights to it. But yeah, man, that's pretty swell. Other than that, of course, we have other stuff. That's a Teespring, by the way. Then we have Patreon, patreon.com/DBCB Exotics, where you get everything behind the scenes of my business. You get to see some fantastic projects we have going on. Of course, the ball pythons, the monitor lizards, Tokay geckos, New Caledonia. We have a bunch of different stuff happening here. We actually just hatched out some adorable little gargoyle babies. I don't think I've shown it off yet. You're gonna want to see it. They are fantastic. First time hatching out these babies, I am very in love with them. They are cool. If you want to check that out and some more bonus footage about what we do here, God, I'm just tongue-tying today. You can find that all down there at Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month. I think that's about it, man. Your name also gets to be in the outro. That's pretty cool. A bunch of people are on it, and you could be too. The one that we are going to be rolling right now.